Today's topic: financial institutions for credit or various credit arrangements. There are two main categories of credit arrangements or financial institutions for credit in India: formal arrangements or institutions and informal arrangements or institutions. First, let us discuss about formal arrangements. The formal institution for credit mainly comprise cooperatives, regional rural banks. Loans given by the formal financial institutions are termed as formal sector loans. Cooperative credit societies. The rural cooperative credit institutions in India have been organized to provide short-term and long-term finances, especially to farmers and rural artisans. The guiding principles of cooperatives are voluntary and open membership, democratic control, and equitable distribution of profit and utilization of resources. After independence, the cooperative credit societies have made a considerable progress, but the working of cooperative credit societies suffers from so many deficiencies like lack of funds and the problem of nepotism, favoritism, partiality, and misuse by the big landlords and village moneylenders because of defective management, corrupt leadership, and groupism in villages. Now, banks. Of all the functions of commercial banks, lending of funds is certainly the most important function. While performing this function, banks provide working capital to commerce and industry and loans to farmers for agricultural operations. Since nationalization of banks, there has been a spectacular rise in banks and branches. After the nationalization of banks in 1969 and 1980, there was a racial change in the credit policy of the banks. The banks have devoted considerable attention to provide credit to priority sectors such as agriculture, small artisan, household enterprises, and petty service providers. Regional rural banks. Regional rural banks were initiated in 1975. The main aim is to extend credit to small and marginal farmers and rural artisans to save them from clutches of moneylenders. National Bank for Agricultural and Rural Development NABARD was set up in 1982 for building better coordination among the various agencies of rural credit. Now let us discuss about the informal arrangements institutions for credit. To meet the credit requirements, especially of rural people such as farmers and artisans in India, informal arrangements had always occupied an important place. They include moneylenders, landlords, traders, and commission agents, relatives, and friends. Loans given by these informal lenders are termed as informal sector loans. Even today, the informal sector lenders occupy a prominent place in India's rural credit. It is because of the reason that they supply credit for productive and non-productive purposes. They are easily accessible and their methods of business are simple and flexible. But all these informal lenders exploit the borrowers and indulge in various types of malpractices. Like they charge exorbitant rates of interest, they manipulate accounts to their advantage, they force the farmers to sell their agricultural produce to them at low price, they obtain bonds and promissory notes on false pretense, they give no receipts for payment and often deny such repayments. Thus, informal sector exploits the farmers and the borrowers in a number of ways. The government has therefore taken up various steps to regulate the activities of these lenders. Most loans from informal lenders carry a very high interest rate and do little to increase the income of the borrowers. Thus, it is necessary that banks and cooperatives increase their lending, particularly in the rural areas, so that the dependence on informal sources of credit reduces. Secondly, while formal sector loans need to expand, it is also necessary that everyone receive these loans. At present, it is the richer household who receives formal credit, whereas the poor have to depend on the informal sources. It is important that the formal credit is distributed more equally so that the poor can benefit from the cheaper loans. Thank you.